Hello, and a very, very warm welcome back to English Made Easy. It's so good to have you here with me today. If you're new, our mission on this channel is simple. We help you learn English in the easiest, most natural way possible. We talk about real topics, we have real conversations, and we learn the kind of English you can actually use. Today, we are diving into a huge, and I mean huge, topic that is changing schools, universities, and the very idea of learning itself. We're asking a big question. Should students be allowed to use AI tools like ChatGPT for their assignments? Now, this isn't just a simple yes or no debate. This is about your future. It's about the skills you build, the person you become, and the value of your education. Throughout our conversation today, we're going to learn some incredibly powerful advanced vocabulary. I'm not going to spoil them just yet, but I promise you, these are words that will make you sound smarter, more persuasive, and more confident in any debate or serious discussion. Knowing these words helps you describe complex problems with precision. Imagine being in a job interview or a university discussion and being able to explain a tricky situation perfectly. That's the power we're unlocking today. I know this is a hot topic, and many of you listening right now probably have a different opinion than I do. You might be thinking, but it's just a tool, it helps me. I hear you. I really do. I can see the counterpoints from the other side, and I promise we will look at them honestly and in detail later on. I want to challenge you, though. As I make my case, please let me know your counterpoints in the comments section below. Tell me where you disagree. It would be so interesting to hear from you and have a real debate. My promise to you is this. By the end of our time together, you will understand exactly what these new words mean, why they are so useful, and how to use and their synonyms in your day-to-day conversations. And remember, as we go, I want you to say the words after me, even if you're just whispering to yourself. It's so important to practice. I'll be speaking with the natural rhythm of a native speaker, so you can get used to the flow of real English. All right, let's get into it. The big question hangs in the air. Should we let students use AI for their homework, their essays, their projects? My stance, and I want to be completely honest with you from the start, is a firm and clear no. I believe that allowing this is a deeply dangerous path, and I want to spend our time today exploring exactly why I feel so strongly about this. The heart of the problem, the very core of it, isn't just about cheating. It goes so much deeper. The first and maybe the most frightening issue is what it does to your brain. Think about learning as a form of exercise for your mind. When you struggle with a math problem, you are building pathways in your brain. When you search for the perfect word to express an idea in an essay, you are strengthening your communication muscles. This struggle, this effort, is not a bug in the system. It is the entire point of the system. It's how you grow. When you turn to an AI to do that work for you, you are essentially telling your brain, you don't need to do this. Someone else will lift the weight. And what happens to a muscle you never use? It begins to atrophy. Now, that's a powerful word, atrophy. Let's break it down. When something begins to atrophy, it means it wastes away or becomes weak because it isn't being used. Imagine a person who breaks their arm and has to wear a cast for 6 weeks. When the cast comes off, that arm is much thinner and weaker than the other one. The muscle has started to atrophy. It has shrunk from lack of use. Let's practice the pronunciation together. It has 3 parts. Atrophy. Atrophy. The stress is on that first syllable. Atrophy. Say it with me. Atrophy. A good synonym, an easier word you might know, is weaken or waste away. But atrophy is more specific. It carries the sense of something declining because of neglect or disuse. When we talk about using AI for assignments, we are talking about the atrophy of our critical thinking skills. The ability to analyze a problem, to connect different ideas, to build an argument from scratch, to find evidence and evaluate it, these are not skills you're born with. They are muscles. And if you let an AI do all the lifting, those muscles will atrophy. You might get a good grade on that one assignment, but you have made yourself weaker for every assignment that comes after, and for every challenge you will face in your life and career. You are trading real, lasting strength for a short-term, easy win. And that's a terrible trade. This leads to a second, deeply connected problem. Using AI for your work creates a completely false sense of understanding. The AI can produce a perfect-looking essay in seconds. It uses big words, it has a clear structure, it sounds intelligent. You read it, you submit it, and you get an A. And a small part of your brain thinks, wow, I did that. I produced that A-grade work. But you didn't. You copied it. You acted as a delivery person, not a creator. This belief that you understand something just because you have a well-written text about it in your hands is completely fallacious. There's another fantastic word for our toolkit: fallacious. Something that is fallacious is based on a mistaken belief. It's a false or misleading idea. It looks true, it sounds true, but it's built on a lie. For example, the old idea that the Earth was the center of the universe was a fallacious belief. Everyone believed it. It seemed to make sense, but it was fundamentally wrong. Let's get the pronunciation right. It has 3 syllables: fallacious. Fallacious. The stress here is on the middle syllable, lay, fallacious. Let's say it a couple of times. Fallacious. A good synonym for fallacious is false or mistaken, but fallacious is a bit more formal and is often used to describe an argument or an idea that is logically wrong. So the feeling of accomplishment you get from submitting an AI-written essay is fallacious. It's a trick. You haven't actually learned anything. You've only learned how to copy and paste. The danger here is that you start to believe the trick yourself. You might even feel confident in your knowledge of a topic, but if someone asks you a simple question about it, you fall apart. You can't explain it in your own words. You can't debate it. You can't connect it to other ideas because the knowledge isn't yours. It's a ghost. It's an echo. The foundation is hollow, and that is a fallacious and dangerous way to build your education. You end up with a degree that feels like a costume, not a part of who you are. This brings us to the very soul of what education is supposed to be about: the process. We have this idea that school is about getting good grades, but that's not really true. Grades are just a measurement. The real goal is the change that happens inside you while you are trying to get the grade. It's the late night struggling to understand a poem. It's the frustration of a math equation that finally clicks into place. It's the joy of writing a sentence that perfectly captures what you feel. This journey, with all its messiness and its difficulty, is where the real value is. Using AI to skip this entire journey is more than just a shortcut. It is a subversion of the entire purpose of learning. Let's look at this word, subvert. To subvert something means to undermine its power and authority. You're not attacking it directly from the front. You're weakening it from the inside, secretly, often by turning its own rules against it. Think of a spy who joins a government not to blow up a building, but to slowly leak secrets and spread distrust until the government collapses from within. That spy is trying to subvert the government. The pronunciation is simple, just 2 parts: subvert. Subvert. The stress is on the second syllable. Subvert. Say it after me. Subvert. Easy synonyms could be undermine or overthrow, but subvert has this specific flavor of corrupting something from the inside out. When you use AI on an assignment, you are not just breaking a rule. You are actively participating in a process that subverts the meaning of your own education. The assignment was designed to make you think, to make you struggle, to make you grow. By using AI, you take that purpose and you turn it into a meaningless task, a box to be checked. You are taking a system designed for your benefit and twisting it into something that ultimately harms you. You are, in a small but significant way, subverting yourself. Now, let's think about the real long-term damage this can cause. This isn't just about one essay or one exam. This is about a habit. It's about a mindset. And the impact of this mindset is incredibly pernicious. What a great word, pernicious. Something that is pernicious has a harmful effect, but in a very gradual and subtle way. It's a harm that creeps up on you. You don't notice it at first, but it's doing damage under the surface. And by the time you see the effects, it's often too late. Think about smoking cigarettes. One cigarette doesn't seem to do much harm, but the pernicious effect over many years can destroy your health. The damage is slow, quiet, and deadly. Let's try the pronunciation. Pernicious. Pernicious. That stress is right in the middle. Pernicious. Try it. Pernicious. Good synonyms are harmful, damaging, or destructive, but pernicious uniquely captures that slow, sneaky quality of the harm. The habit of relying on AI is pernicious. The first time you use it, it feels like a lifesaver. You were stressed, you were out of time, and it helped. So you do it again and again. Each time you are avoiding the mental exercise of learning. Each time your own skills atrophy just a tiny bit more. Each time your confidence in your own ability gets a little bit smaller and your reliance on the tool gets a little bit bigger. It's a slow poisoning of your academic and intellectual life. You might not see the damage today or tomorrow, but in a few years, you'll find yourself in a job or a situation that demands real thinking, and you won't have the skills. The pernicious habit will have robbed you of your potential one assignment at a time. This isn't just a personal problem. It becomes a societal problem. What happens when a whole generation of future doctors, engineers, lawyers, and leaders has been educated this way? What happens when the people designing our bridges have only ever asked an AI how to do the calculations? What happens when the people writing our laws have only ever asked an AI to write their arguments? The very foundation of our society is built on something called academic integrity. Let's define this crucial phrase, academic integrity. This isn't just one word, but a core concept. Academic integrity is the commitment to a set of moral and ethical values in all academic work. It means being honest. It means doing your own work. It means giving credit to others for their ideas. It's the simple, powerful promise that the work you submit with your name on it is actually yours. It is the foundation of trust in education. Without it, degrees are meaningless, research is untrustworthy, and the entire system falls apart. When you use AI to write your assignment, you are violating that trust. You are committing an act of plagiarism. Now, we all have a basic idea of what plagiarism means. We think of it as copying someone else's work. But let's look at it more closely. Plagiarism is the act of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as their own. This is a form of stealing. You are stealing intellectual property. When you take words from a book or a website without saying where they came from, that's plagiarizing. When you use an AI to generate text and then you put your name on it, that is also plagiarism. You are claiming authorship of something you did not create. Let's say the word together. Plagiarism. Plagiarism. The stress is on the very first syllable. Plagiarism. One more time. Plagiarism. Synonyms could be copying or theft, but plagiarism is the specific term for this kind of intellectual stealing in an academic or creative context. The act of plagiarism via AI feels different, doesn't it? It feels less like stealing from a specific person and more like just getting help from a machine. But the result is the same. It breaks the fundamental principle of academic integrity. It introduces a lie into the system, and the impact of that lie is, again, insidious. Here is another word that is similar to pernicious, but with a slightly different feeling: insidious. Something that is insidious is also gradual and harmful, but it often carries the extra meaning of being treacherous or deceitful. It's like a trap. It proceeds in a subtle way, but with a harmful intent. A disease that shows no symptoms for years is insidious. A bad idea that sounds good at first, but leads to terrible consequences is insidious. It's harm that smiles at you while it works. Let's check the pronunciation. In-sid-i-us. Insidious. The stress is on that second syllable. Insidious. Say it with me. Insidious. Treacherous or crafty can be synonyms. While pernicious is like a slow poison, insidious is like a slow-moving conspiracy. The argument that AI is just a helpful tool is, I think, an insidious one. It sounds reasonable, it sounds modern, but it hides the deep damage it can cause. The ease of it, the convenience, the way it produces clean, confident text, it's all a trap. It traps you into dependency. It traps you into intellectual laziness. It's an insidious process that hollows out your education from the inside, leaving behind an empty shell that looks good on the outside, but has nothing of value within. Of course, I know what you might be thinking. I can hear the arguments from the other side, and it's important to face them head on. A strong argument isn't afraid of disagreement. The most common argument you hear is this: AI is just a tool, like a calculator or a spell checker. We didn't ban those. Why should we ban this? On the surface, this sounds like a good point, but I believe this argument is deeply disingenuous. Let's learn that word. Disingenuous. To be disingenuous is to not be candid or sincere. It's when you're pretending that you know less about something than you really do. It's a kind of fake innocence. If you break your mother's favorite vase and then say, "Oh, how did that happen?" you are being disingenuous. You are pretending not to know the truth. Let's pronounce it. Disingenuous. Disingenuous. It's a longer one. The main stress is on gen. Disingenuous. Let's try it again. Disingenuous. A simpler way to say it is not honest or insincere, but disingenuous is perfect for describing an argument that someone makes when they know it isn't the whole truth. Comparing ChatGPT to a calculator is disingenuous. A calculator performs a single mechanical task: calculation. It doesn't do the thinking for you. You still have to understand the problem. You have to know which numbers to enter and which operations to use. The calculator just speeds up a process that you already know how to do. It handles the boring part. An AI like ChatGPT, on the other hand, does the entire thinking process. It analyzes the prompt, structures the argument, finds the words, and writes the sentences. It doesn't just do a task, it performs the act of creation. A calculator can't solve a word problem for you. An AI can. A spell checker corrects your typing mistakes. It doesn't write the original thoughts. To pretend these tools are the same is to ignore the fundamental difference, and that is a disingenuous argument. The second big argument I hear is about efficiency. It saves so much time. I can expedite my homework and focus on more important things. Let's grab that word, expedite. To expedite something means to make a process happen sooner or be accomplished more quickly. If you pay extra for shipping to get a package delivered faster, you are paying to expedite the delivery. It's all about speed. Pronunciation, expedite. Expedite. The stress is on the first syllable. Expedite. Say it with me. Expedite. A synonym is speed up or accelerate or hurry. So the argument is that AI helps you expedite your work. And it's true, it does. It is incredibly fast. But this argument forces us to ask a very important question. What is the more important thing you're saving time for? If you are a student, what is more important than the process of learning itself? The assignment you are rushing to finish is not an obstacle on the way to your education. The assignment is your education. To say you want to expedite your learning is a contradiction. It's like saying you want to expedite eating a wonderful meal. The whole point is to savor it, to experience it, not to get it over with as quickly as possible. By saving time on the work, you are not creating more time for learning. You are simply choosing not to learn. You are choosing to skip the one thing you are in school to do. Then there's the final big argument, the argument of the future. The world is changing. AI is everywhere. It's ubiquitous. We have to adapt. Its use in education is inevitable, so we should embrace it. Two great words there. Let's start with ubiquitous. If something is ubiquitous, it means it is present or seems to be present everywhere at the same time. These days, smartphones are ubiquitous. You see them everywhere, in every country, in the hands of young and old. The internet is ubiquitous. It's hard to imagine a place without it. Let's pronounce it. Ubiquitous. Ubiquitous. The stress is on that bic syllable. Ubiquitous. It's a fun one to say. Ubiquitous. A good synonym is everywhere or omnipresent. And it's true. AI is becoming ubiquitous. It's in our phones, our cars, our homes. And that leads to the second word, inevitable. Something that is inevitable is certain to happen. It's unavoidable. Death and taxes are often said to be inevitable. If you stand outside in a heavy rainstorm without an umbrella, it is inevitable that you will get wet. Pronunciation. Inevitable. Inevitable. The stress is on the nev syllable. Inevitable. Say it with me. Inevitable. A synonym is unavoidable or certain. So, the argument is that since AI is ubiquitous, its use in schools is inevitable. This is a powerful argument because it makes you feel like you have no choice. It makes you feel like fighting it is old-fashioned and pointless. But I want to challenge this idea. Just because a technology exists, does that mean we must use it for everything without thinking? We have cars, but we still encourage people to walk for their health. We have fast food, but we still know that cooking a fresh meal is better for us. The presence of an easy option does not mean it is the right option. And to simply surrender and say it's inevitable is a form of giving up. It's an abdication of our responsibility to think critically about the tools we use. That's a fantastic, strong word. Abdication. An abdication is a failure to fulfill a responsibility or duty. It most famously refers to when a king or queen formally gives up the throne, but it can be used more broadly. If a parent fails to care for their child, that is an abdication of their parental duty. Let's say it together. Abdication. The stress is on the K syllable. Abdication. Try it. Abdication. Synonyms could be renunciation or giving up. To say that we must allow AI in assignments simply because it exists is an abdication of the duty of educators. The job of a teacher, of a school, of an entire education system is to protect and foster the intellectual growth of students. It is their job to make decisions that serve the students' long-term best interests, not their short-term desire for an easy solution. Simply throwing our hands up and saying it's inevitable is a massive failure. It's an abdication of the very purpose of being an educator. So, if this is the problem, what is the solution? It's not enough for me to just say don't use it. We need to think about the way forward. How do we live in a world with ubiquitous AI without letting it destroy the value of education? The solution has to happen on multiple levels. It starts with a change in our pedagogy. There's a precise word for the arts and science of teaching: pedagogy. Pedagogy is the method and practice of teaching. It's not just about what you teach, but how you teach it. A teacher who uses games and projects to teach history has a different pedagogy from a teacher who only lectures and gives tests. It's the theory and the strategy behind education. Let's pronounce it. Ped-a-ga-G. Pedagogy. The stress is on the ped syllable. Pedagogy. Say it with me. Pedagogy. There isn't a simple synonym for pedagogy because it's a specific technical term. You could say teaching methods, but pedagogy is more comprehensive. It covers the philosophy of teaching as well. We need a new pedagogy for the age of AI. Educators can no longer rely on simple take-home essays that can be easily generated by a machine. Assignments need to change. They need to become AI-proof. How? By focusing on things a machine can't do. We need more in-class assignments, more oral exams and presentations where a student has to answer questions in real time. We need projects that are based on a student's personal experience and reflection. We need assignments that require drawing connections between a book we read in class and a personal event in the student's life. An AI can't know your personal life. An AI can't have a unique emotional reaction to a piece of art. The new pedagogy must center on humanity, personality, and the process of thinking itself, not just the final product. For students, for you, the solution is about developing a new kind of discipline. It means understanding that these tools exist, but choosing when and when not to use them. AI can be a fantastic tool for brainstorming. You can ask it, give me 10 different ideas for an essay about climate change. It can help you get started when you're staring at a blank page. It can be a great tool for explaining a single difficult concept, like a personal tutor. You could ask it, explain quantum physics to me like I'm 10 years old. But the moment you ask it to write for you, you have crossed a line. You have moved from using a tool to asking the tool to do your job. The solution is to build a wall in your mind. On one side of the wall is using AI to help me think. On the other side of the wall is using AI to think for me. You have to commit to never crossing that wall. It is a commitment to your own growth. It is a commitment to academic integrity. And what about the idea of innovation? This is the last big concept I want us to tackle. The people who support using AI in education often say it drives innovation. Innovation is the act of introducing new methods, ideas, or products. The invention of the smartphone was a major innovation in communication. The development of vaccines is an innovation in medicine. It's all about creating something new and better. Let's say it. Innovation. The stress is on they. Innovation. Try it. Innovation. Synonyms are newness, modernization, or a new invention. They say that using AI in education is a form of innovation. But is it? True innovation should make things better. Does replacing human thought with machine-generated text make education better? Does it make students smarter, more capable, more creative? I argue that it does the exact opposite. It creates a dependency that stifles true human creativity. The knowledge you get from an AI is ephemeral. Let's learn that last beautiful word, ephemeral. Something that is ephemeral lasts for a very short time. A butterfly's life is ephemeral. The beauty of a sunset is ephemeral. It's there, it's brilliant, and then it's gone. It doesn't last. Pronunciation. Ephemeral. Ephemeral. The stress is on the fem syllable. Ephemeral. Say it with me. Ephemeral. Synonyms could be short-lived or fleeting. The knowledge you get from asking an AI to do your work is ephemeral. It exists on your screen for a moment, you submit it, and then it's gone from your mind. It was never really there. It leaves no trace. Real knowledge, the kind you earn through struggle, is permanent. It becomes a part of you. You can use it, build on it, and connect it to new ideas for the rest of your life. Why would we ever trade something permanent for something so ephemeral? This is not true innovation. It is a step backward, dressed up in the language of the future. The truly innovative path is not to surrender to the machine, but to find new ways to celebrate and develop the one thing the machine will never have: your unique, complex, and beautiful human mind. The path of least resistance is a tempting one. It's easy, it's fast. But the things of greatest value in life are never found on the easy path. Your education is not a task to be completed. It is a person to become. Do you agree with me? Or do you think I'm completely wrong? I genuinely want to know. Write your thoughts down in the comments section. Let's have a real conversation about this. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Keep practicing, keep questioning, and try listening to our talks every day. It's one of the best ways to let English become a natural part of your world and improve faster than you can imagine. Don't let your mind become a muscle you forget to use.